a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to jump in here real quick because there's been a conversation that's constantly been had this week, and I when I get in a conversation, a public conversation, I like to go until the conversation is done because I think it's very important that we talk about what needs to be talked about in our community in terms of truly understanding what it's going to take for us to be the best we could be as Black people. So since you've got consistent voices out there of people that are giving you certain types of messages, I want to be one of the voices that gives you a different kind of message. You know, I want to give you I want to give you a message that's a little bit well thought out. Some reason, maybe OG style, because I'm not 22 years old anymore. And I just think that it's important, especially I'm really thinking about the young people who might get confused by what they see, because I just feel like white supremacy misguides us so much. I think it leads us into these traps. And then we brag about being in the trap. Like, I'm in the trap. I'm from the trap. But I don't want to be trapped. I don't want you to be trapped. I want you to be free. And freedom means doing what is best for you, making yourself happy, short term and long term. Because unfortunately, what happens is you have a culture that's built on things like instant gratification, materialism, and superficiality. Superficiality means that things sometimes look good, but they're not good. They look good. They look like they're healthy, but they're not so healthy. So let me break this down for you. First of all, somebody was asking about the Jay Morrison thing. I addressed that earlier. Go to the earlier post and you'll see where I addressed it. My basic point on that is you need to settle shit in the court of law, not in the court of Instagram. I'm not a child. I'm not going to play that game with you. So here's what I want to lay out. Do me a favor. If you could, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't done it yet, please hit the thumbs up button. What triggered this? What causes, we all get triggered by something. So what triggered me is this, and I want to read this post to you, and then I want to kind of break it down for you. There's a lady, I don't know her name. Her name is Mika Sierra, and she wrote this. She said, because of WAP, WAP stands for wet ass pussy. That's the Cardi B song, the Megan Thee Stallion video they did. She said, because of WAP, we have learned that Cardi B is a 27-year-old millionaire worth $8 million, married, an amazing mother, yet men hate her. 25-year-old Megan Thee Stallion's worth over $3 million, educated as fuck, a woman's motivator, yet men hate her. Men hate women who love to party, but hate going to parties with no women. Men hate women who have sex, yet want to have sex with women. Men hate independent women, yet hate for their own women to be dependent on them. Men hate women who dress provocatively, yet cheat with women who wear whole shit. Men hate with a passion women buying whole houses and cars with OnlyFans, yet they are the main consumers. Make it make sense. What do you conclude from this? So I'm going to break this down. Here's one of the things that this is really for intelligent Black people. This is not, for people that go along with the crowd and stuff like that. That's not what I'd like to do. Let me break this down. Okay, so I want to make this 100% clear. I'm a believer in freedom of expression, freedom of thought, freedom of speech, all those things. Freedom means this. Freedom means that you have 100% every right to be as much of a hoe as you want. Seriously, hoes have absolute freedom to do whatever you want to do. Like if you want to go and you want to have sex with 800 people tomorrow, I don't give a shit. Like seriously, you can go and lay down with every man you see for the rest of your life, and that's on you. You can go and have sex with the mailman and the milkman and the garbage man in the same hour. And that is your right. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to care. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas to your hoe ass. I hope that you enjoy it. Have fun. Live your life. Do you. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to stop you. That's not my goal. My goal is not, my God, if we tried to stomp out every hoe in America, we'd be stomping for the rest of our lives. You can't kill all the hoes in America. It's like trying to kill all the roaches. There's too many of them, right? So that's the first thing I want to say is that, everybody has a right to do what they want to do. And also, let's just be honest. Let's keep it 100. Sex is natural. Sex is something that everybody does. Your mama got down with your daddy, and that's how you got here, right? We know sex happens. The people aren't judging the sex at all. In fact, people aren't judging. I don't think you should have to judge. I think you can point things out and calibrate things, right? Everything has to have balance. And what is really happening here is not so much the judgment of sex. It's really sort of the blatant nature of sexual expression, the abuse of sexual expression, where, everything it's quite fascinating that you have the Me Too movement that wants to accuse every man that looks at you or tells you that you're cute, that you accuse them of sexual harassment or rape culture. But yet you're leading every conversation by talking about your vagina. Like, you really take pride in this idea that the first thing I'm going to hear about from a woman is how good and how wet her, what is, right? And so you're sending a mixed signal right there. That's what I call the confused feminist, who really, really wants everything to be about her pussy. But yet when you bring up the pussy, it's like, how dare you? Like, what's wrong? You don't respect me as a human being. Well, you're not advertising yourself as a human being. You're advertising yourself as a piece of meat. You're advertising yourself as a sex object. You're advertising yourself as a hooker. So why wouldn't I think that you would be out hooking? That hookers hook. That's what you do. You said, you're wearing the whole uniform. You're doing, all the whole dances. You're using the whole language. You're a proud hoe. So why are you mad when we just say, okay, all right, ho, go do you, right? So I think that's the one weird thing about the confused feminist is you have to understand that what you lead with is what people are going to absorb. If I led every conversation with you, if I led every discussion on this podcast with conversation about my penis, and every single conversation I was rapping about my penis, then what would happen is that the decent people in the room would walk out. And the only people that would stay would be people who were interested in my penis, right? Like, seriously, like, that's all. And then if I say, well, wait, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, I have a PhD. You should respect me for my intellect. How dare you just focus on my penis? Well, Boyce, you've been rapping about your penis every day. Like, seriously, like, how the doctor is in and he's long and hard, like really, I mean, like, if I'm coming in every day, beginning every conversation with my penis, then you're going to assume that that's all I am, that's the entirety of my humanity for the most part. So I personally think that you have to take accountability. Again, I don't think the heavy hardcore feminists really like accountability. They don't like accountability. They like to have their cake and eat it too. Heads I win, tails you lose. They like to run out and sort of do the whole, the whole proud hoe routine, and then simultaneously, while doing the proud hoe routine, will then be offended when you put them in that category, right? Now here's another piece here. This is the last point I want to kind of lay down on this and make this 100% abundantly clear. I even if you lead with how much of a hoe you are, like, even if every sentence begins with, let me tell you about my vagina, I'm not going to judge you. That's your right. I believe everybody has a right to do whatever they want to do. But here's the biggest issue with some of the hip hop music that's really being pushed out here. And it's only being pushed the record labels are only promoting Black women who are pushing these messages. There is no white Cardi B. There is no white Lizzo. There is no white Megan Thee Stallion, right? Miley Cyrus is as close as you get. And all of these artists are hotter than Miley Cyrus. Here's the issue. The issue is not you being a hoe and having the right to be a hoe. The issue is that you're mass marketing prostitution to children. When you're bragging about the fact that you will sell your vagina for a Gucci bag, that's called prostitution. When you say the man with the most money is the man who can get it every time, that's what they call prostitution. When you're talking about, hey, if you can take me to White Castle and get me 2 cheeseburgers, I'll put anything that you tell me to in my mouth next to the cheeseburger, then that's prostitution. And here's the deal. I found out about Megan. I didn't even know about Megan Thee Stallion. I heard about Megan Thee Stallion from a 12-year-old. And so so something has to occur with media. I'm not even really talking about Cardi and Megan. They're young. They're doing their thing. They're still in that stage where people think that all money's good money. They're in that stage of life where they think that they're successful because they have money. Male rappers do this too. Like Biggie used to rap about how successful he was and how great his life was. Birthdays was the worst days. Now we drink champagne when we thirsty. Well, Biggie was dead less than a year later because Biggie didn't know that everything he thought was a blessing was actually a curse. He thought he was winning, but really he was losing. He thought his life had gotten better when really his life had gotten worse. He wasn't going to live past the age of 25, 26. So I'm not really talking about Cardi and Megan. This is not, I'm a grown man. I'm old enough to be their father. Actually, I have a daughter that is older than Cardi B. So this is not me arguing with a young lady. This is me saying, do you, be you. But I'm talking to Apple. I'm talking to grown folks here. I'm talking to the adults in the room, the 40, 50, 60-year-old executives at Apple Music who are mass promoting pornography and prostitution to children and think that's okay. And they're not doing it to every community. They're doing it to your community because it's your little black girls that are looking up at these black women thinking that they are models of success. White people love hip hop because it's just fun. It's interesting. It's like when I used to watch mafia movies. I never thought I was going to grow up and become an Italian mobster. I never thought I was going to be part of the Lucchese family, right? But if I had been a young Italian kid, I would have maybe thought, okay, so these guys get all the respect. I want to be like them. So the same thing is true when they see your black rappers. See, white people see it and they love it. They get into it in college. They bop to it on their way to work and their corporate job, but they're going back to being white. Your black butt is the one who watches it and has the daughter who says, okay, so the hoes are winning. I want to be a stripper. I want to be like Cardi. That's how, or maybe I'll do a porno like Larry Fishburne's daughter thought she could do a porno and become famous off the porno. Y'all remember that? Montana Fishburne, that poor thing? And Montana Fishburne didn't, she didn't find the life she was looking for. She didn't find a life of stardom and happiness. Montana Fishburne became a porn star. And then 2-3 years later, she left the industry and was talking about how exploited she was, how depressed she was, how suicidal she was, how painful it was to go through that experience. And I don't want that for little girls. I don't want that for little girls. So when people say you're attacking women by having this conversation, I don't really know how to respond to that because my goal is not to attack women. My goal is to protect women. I live in a community where sex trafficking is damn near at an all-time high. I live in a community where little black girls go missing every day and nobody gives a damn. I live in a community where bad things are happening to young girls because you got the R. Kelly types rolling through the hood looking for 12, 13-year-olds who've been trained on sex since they were little, who've been sexualized by the media, who are looking for these young girls to exploit. So you can accuse me of whatever you want. But that's something that's a conversation I can't have with you until you've gone through that life and made those negative choices, caught yourself with whatever it's diseases and exploitation and the abuse that comes with it. And then you will understand where I'm coming from. So this is not really a good conversation to have with a 22-year-old because they're not always going to get it. You got to live a little bit of life. You got to see the other side of that whole life and what happens when you're promoting that to a young girl and making it look glamorous. It's like the same way Rick Ross and these other guys would promote being a drug dealer. Like that's just a great thing. Like I'm a boss and I'm this, that, I'm that. Man, are you kidding me? Do you know how many black men I've seen get 80 years in prison from trying to be a boss? You're a boss for about 9 months until they pop you on a RICO charge and send you away from your family for the next 100 years. That's what Bill Clinton and Joe Biden did. And that's why they're not going to get my vote. Because those guys are still in prison. So come on, man, seriously. So we got to start having these adult conversations and really talking to the young people and getting to the point where we're like, look, I'm sorry this offends you, but somebody's going to have to tell you something that's going to help save you, help you at least so that when you make those choices, when you make the choice, like if you say, look, I want to do what Cardi B did. I want to be just like Cardi because she's successful. When you make that choice, you'll at least know what the other side looks like. And you can't go through life as a victim and then say, well, nobody ever told me. It's not my fault. No, it is your fault. You made that decision. And so that's my last point. Again, hoes have all rights to be as hoes as you want. I'm not here to restrict the rights of hoes to be hoes. Like if that's what you do, if that's what you're good at, if you're good at being a hooker or a prostitute, I don't judge that. I don't even judge prostitution. If two grown-ups get together and decide to trade money for sex, that's your business. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Right. But I'm talking about the babies. I'm talking about the children who still have a choice in terms of who they want to be. I want them guided towards something positive. I want girls to be protected. I want young girls guided to something good. I want, which means that monitoring the airwaves is very important. I want that WAP shit. I want that in the porno section. I want that to be in a place where it's hard for kids to get access to. I don't want it to be played on the radio constantly and have these messages marketed as some sort of thing that little girls get excited about. Because y'all know what happened. Y'all know what comes with that life. Why would you want the worst for your children? Seriously, why do we want the worst for these little girls? So so that's it. That's my point. I just want to make that point. And I also want to just give a quick shout out to all the women who get it, who are in that classy category. I'm sure, everybody's sexual. Like, even if you say you're not, you're that's a lie. We know everybody thinks about sex. And I respect the fact that you understand, that a woman doesn't always have to lead the conversation with her vagina, that there's much more to a woman than just what she can do with you in the bedroom. And also, for the good men out there that let these women know that. Like, I think it's very important to let them understand that, that because the guys I know, they have, like, Cardi B likes the men that have the money and says, if you got money, you can have it or whatever. A lot of guys I know, they're not good. They're not interested in that. Like, they're definitely not. That's definitely not a woman they're going to bring home to their mama. Sure, absolutely. The hoes look good superficially. The external looks great. But if the internal's not there, then I don't think a quality man's going to want you. So a lot of times the reason that these hoes love to complain about how abusive and evil men are is because the men that get in relationships with them are the worst men out there. So if you're presenting the worst side of yourself, then you're going to attract the worst side of humanity. You're not going to attract quality men because the quality man saw your loud, raunchy ass and quietly walked out of the room. The only man who stayed is the man who realizes, okay, in order for me to get this woman's respect, I got to punch her in the face. And that's why you end up in these shitty relationships. So how you present yourself to the world is going to have a direct role in what you attract. Seriously, how you present yourself to the world is going to have a direct role in what you attract. I met Alicia in the library. I did not meet Alicia in the club. She was not swinging from a pole. I did not pick her up on the corner. I met her in the library. So that is why to this day, I'm marrying a beautiful, sexy Black woman who happens to be a professor because I presented myself as somebody who wanted to be in the library. She was in the library, and that's how we got together. So you will attract what you put out. So you put out that negative shit, you're going to attract negative people. So put out something positive. Keep being positive. If the people that walk away from you are the people that are not meant for you, just understand that when they walk away, you might want something, but sometimes what we want ain't good for us. Okay, guys. So I'm about to go. I hope that this helps you. Again, I want to make sure this is 100% clear. If you are a hoe and you are a proud hoe, then keep doing your thing. Keep doing your whole thing. I'm not judging you. It is your right. You are a grown ass person. Do your thing. But for those of you who are thinking differently, who see the world as being a little bit more than that, then God bless you. You are winning. I believe that, there's a difference in a short-term winner and a long-term winner. The short-term winners who win based on superficial stuff, based on the looks and money and materialism, those are the short-term winners. The long-term winners are the people who sacrifice a little bit now so they can have more later on. So keep going. You're winning. God bless you. You're the best people in the world, and I respect you for that. All right, so I'm out of here. Have a good day. Love you, and thank you for listening. Please hit the thumbs up button before you go, and make sure you subscribe to drboycetv.com if you like intelligent conversations. I'll see you soon. Have a good day. Peace.